Hey, we always live Elvis.
Hey, Memphis Mafia Kid and Teresa.
And Teresa.
I beat her to it. Y'all, we're just kind of chilling. It's let's say morning, afternoon for us. Here at Mom and Daddy's, and I'm sitting in their den. We've spending the weekend with them, but I want to try to get out a video to y'all. So, Teresa, we got questions and answers. Let's get with it, girl.
Okay, the first one's from Vicky Craig. She's the one who gave us the awesome
Hey,
shirts.
Vicky, I know. I know who Vicky is.
She asked me, Teresa, what is the tent you mentioned, and what took place, and where was it located? It was across the street from Graceland. I don't know what's over there now. It used to be little shops.
Yeah,
little restaurants.
Over by the plains, they had some gift shops and a little restaurant and stuff. And on that parking lot, they also had a hotel set back here. A lot of you know where we're talking about. They would put up tents.
A big, like, open air.
During Elvis week for at least, I want to say at least 3 or 4 nights, 3 or 4 days. And, you know, they had Elvis impersonators, you know, do some, or just anybody that, you know, that wanted to. Sometimes they'd have you know, special guests there, and the people could just get a drink and chill. They had big fans, and everybody would talk, and been to many of them. And we had so much fun. And
it was a great meeting place for everyone who came out of town or overseas who would meet up in the tent. There was a stage in the tent, and then there were folding chairs. But also, people brought their folding chairs or chairs and set up in the parking. You didn't park in the parking lot. Then you parked a little ways over. So you set up you could bring your cooler with your drinks, and just sit.
Or you know, like I said, they had buy from them, and they would.
And just sit and
they
visit.
were right there by the gift shops. It was a nice setup. Even in the summer with the fans, you know, they didn't really complain. Sure, it got hot at times, but you know, they got to share their Elvis stories and just chill out on a good southern summer night.
Spend time with their friends they haven't seen in a year.
And talk Elvis. And Vicky, that's what we called the good old days.
Yeah, it was. All right, next question is from C. Wills. It's either 0 or O. Does anyone know who decorated Graceland in blue and white? Was it Gladys or Elvis during initial renovations when they purchased the house?
It was, you know, they talked about it as a family, Elvis and Aunt Gladys, Uncle Vernon. You know, and decided on you know, the colors and you know, what they wanted. And the decorator, you know, they told him who was George Goldman, and they put it together from there. But yeah, that was them as a family.
Okay, Angela Kearney, did your mama have Graceland cooks take care of your family's meals, or did she cook? And did Graceland housekeepers clean the trailer too, or did y'all clean it?
Okay, no, we didn't have any of the housekeepers out. Mama did the cooking, and during those times we eat out a lot at restaurants, and then I mean, but when we were like home, Mama fixed home meals. And y'all excuse me, I'm sorry. I guess somebody wanted to call me, but. You know, like I said, we'd have, now if we was out at Graceland, sure, we would just have them, you know, fix something if we were going to be out there and eat out there. As far as the house cleaning, no, we did all our own. I tried to get out of most of it.
I was going to say, your mama did it all.
Mama wanted us to make the bed. Of course, we're not going to get into all that. But anyway, when I could, I got out of it. But she kept everything clean. That was our house and her house. And you know how women are. They like do things their own way.
Oh, please tell me how women are.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, yeah. Siebert 14, did Elvis like animals?
I would say he did. He must have, because he sure had a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, he had a love for animals. You know, just like a lot of us, he had, you know, some that he cared more than others. Not that he really hated any, but just liked better. You know, dogs, horses. You know, he had some peacocks. You know, I mean, he's probably had you know, a lot of animals we hadn't had, but for the most part, yeah, he was an animal lover. Definitely an animal lover.
From Tupelo Miss 8315, Teresa, were you an Elvis fan before you met Danny? I knew who Elvis was. My mom was the big Elvis fan. I remember I would watch his movies with her it was either Saturday or Sundays that they came on, and so I enjoyed sitting and watching those. And I listened to his music. She'd play his music, and I would listen. I didn't have any of his records myself, but I did like watching his movies, the matinee on the days we watched it and everything. So, yeah.
She's an Elvis lover.
I am. I am.
But too, remember, I mean, her time, she knew who Elvis, but of course she had her little, I'm sure,
Duran Duran.
Bay City Rollers. Or
Duran Duran. It was all Duran Duran when I was growing up.
While we're on that, though, a thought just crossed my mind, Teresa, that I thought we'd share, and we may have shared it with them one time before, but, and not to bring back bad memories, but it was so beautiful, and when Teresa's mom was actually passing, Teresa, you played.
Oh, yeah, I did it my way.
Yeah.
Well, when she was in hospice care, when she was kind of in a coma, I would play Elvis for her. Yeah. And I could tell she could hear it because, her expression.
I mean, it was, I say a beautiful thing. It was not really a bad thing, not a good thing either. But
well, she loved Elvis.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. It kept her I think at peace, and it was beautiful.
I wanted those to be the last things she heard. Yeah, because she loved Elvis so much. Okay, Xander6464. Did Elvis pump his own gas, or did he make whoever was riding with him do it, or did he stop at full service stations?
Well,
and explain. Some may not know what full service stations were back in the day.
Full service stations back in the day was you pulled in, you pulled up. They pumped your gas. They washed your windshield. They checked your fluids, your oil, your transmission, and air in your tires. Some of them, just different things. But the answer to that, I was talking to Daddy, because early years, I knew in the later years, but in the early years I wasn't real sure. But even in the early years when he became famous, even when he got in a fight, he was pumping his own gas. When he got in the fight at the service station that time, Daddy was just telling me about it. So, yeah, I mean, he pumped his own gas sometimes in the early years. Later years, the cars were always prepared ahead of time. They were always gassed up, sitting, waiting. You've heard Daddy tell the story about the keys being in a certain place. That's one reason he shot the Pantera, because keys wasn't in it like they were supposed to be, but that's another story. But yeah, for the most part, they were already done. Now I do know in the 70s, I want to say it was around 75, may have been 74 or 76, but I'm thinking 75. They had gone out on the motorcycles, and right across at an angle across the street from Graceland, there was a Vickers service station, and he actually pumped his own gas into his motorcycle at that time. So I mean, just he was like everybody else. He was human now. I mean, it wasn't that he couldn't do it.
I can remember the full service. Yeah. I can remember one in Tupelo. Yeah. But
could you imagine if they had one now? It'd be $100, right? Just
I know.
For them to do it.
I know.
And then you'd have to get your...
And actually, it was the cheapest gas when I was a young adult, it was the cheapest gas in town was the one where they filled it up for you.
Well, during those times, it was cheap anyway.
It was like $1 a gallon.
Boy, I only wish we had those prices.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, last question is from Donna Herring, 8706. What year did you all move from Graceland? Did your dad work security or as a tour guide? I always thought y'all moved before the house opened. I guess open to the public.
We did. We moved from our trailer from the grounds of Graceland in December of '77. We moved to Horn Lake, Mississippi. And in 1982, when Graceland opened, they had hired Dad. He was a tour guide and also helped them put it all together, whatever you want to call it. But he mainly worked as a tour guide. He never worked as a security. I did about a year and a half later, 83, almost 84. I worked for Graceland, and I started out in their restaurant as assistant manager and across the street, and then I switched and went into security and worked it until I left. But hey, y'all, we appreciate all those questions. Look, we're going to chill at Mom and Dad's. We're going to have a little Smith cookout at Danielle Nolan's and Laney's tomorrow, and we might snap a few pictures or something if y'all are interested in. Maybe shoot a little footage and show you how the Crazy Smiths hang out a little bit. But y'all enjoy y'all's weekend. We're going to enjoy ours, and remember, y'all, we always live Elvis.